Hey guys, it is Wednesday, final recovery day on the Shock and Awe program. Today, both Smitty and I are going to show you lateral stretches and ways to release the lateral line in your body, which is often overlooked when it comes to flexibility and mobility. A lot of people, if they even do stretch or if they do any kind of mobility work, they'll address the front and the back of their body. It's not uncommon to stretch your hamstrings, your quads, your pecs, but rarely do they work the lateral line. And what I want to specifically talk about today is maybe the most overlooked muscle in your body, the quadratus lumborum, or it's also referred to as the QL, which is a lot easier to say than quadratus lumborum. But the QL runs along each side of your spine, starts from the top of your pelvis and goes up to your bottom rib. And what happens is when it gets tight, it causes low back pain and low back tightness. But the other problem is it's very hard to get to. It's very hard to stretch. In fact, I would say the majority of you watching this video literally may have never felt this muscle before. And even if you've done some side bending and side stretching, you may feel what you think is the QL, but it's really just your obliques or your abs. So hopefully I'm going to show you a 1-2 punch today that I use that has helped open up this muscle. And when I finally felt it, man, it was a world of difference. It was one of those good kind of pains that I just held each stretch for like 2 or 3 minutes each side. And when I was done, I stood up, and this pull, this tightness that I've had in my low back forever, the majority of it was gone. Now it was temporary. This is something I have to work on a daily basis, but I'm always looking for ways to loosen up the low back. So hopefully this helps you guys out. First thing I'm going to show you is a real simple self-myofascial release. I have both Jill Miller's Alpha Ball, one of her yoga tune-up balls. This is great for the QL, and this is what I would normally use if I was on a hardwood floor. But since I'm kind of sitting on this soft rug, and I like to torture myself a little bit, I'm going to use Kelly Starrett's Supernova. This is the smaller version of the Supernova ball. And what you're going to do is just lay on your back with your knees bent. And hopefully you can see this. I'll tuck my shirt in so you can see. You're going to stick the ball right, go off the side of your spine, and almost like you're trying to go underneath your spinal erectors, like you're trying to hit it, go underneath from the side. So you're going to go right on the spinal erectors and then slide laterally just a little bit more, and you will know when you kind of get that QL. And what we're going to do is the side that the ball is on my right side. I'm just going to grab my right knee with my left hand. I like to grab it with the opposite hand. And by bringing the knee up, I'm adding more pressure onto that muscle. And I'm just going to put my opposite arm down. Grabbing it with the opposite hand kind of helps you balance a little bit. You could do it with the same arm too. I just like to go opposite. Feels a little more comfortable for me. And then I'm just going to add some pressure, take some deep, slow breaths. And then I'm going to cross my knee over and let it drop to the side. And I'm going to make I like to go little side to side motions. And you could kind of work your way up, like I said, from the bottom rib to your pelvis. Kind of work your way up and down, find different areas. You'll find more tension in certain spots. Work your way up and down. So you want that side to side motion with the knee drop to the side. And then we could also just grab the knee and kind of go side to side, back and forth. You could walk forward and back and grab it onto the rug a little bit. So there's really no right or wrong way. We just want to add pressure to it, breathe, and then move side to side a little bit, up and down. Once we do that to each side, I'm going to show you an advanced stretch. You need a certain level of flexibility and mobility just to do this stretch. So hopefully most of you out there will be able to do it, but loosening, kind of calming down that QL with the ball first will definitely help. And what you'll notice is one side is always tighter than the other on most people. You have that, a tight QL on one side gives you kind of that lopsided feeling. You'll hear people say, oh, my one leg is shorter than the other, or my pelvis is out, which I don't even know if your pelvis being out is a real thing. And that whole one leg being shorter than the other, I guarantee if you lengthen that one side of the QL that's tighter and remeasure your leg, you might be surprised. Your legs might magically be the same length afterwards. So let me show you this stretch. What we're going to do is, as if you were kind of just sitting with your legs crossed, the old crisscross applesauce, I am going to pin the knee down of the side I'm going to stretch. So I'm going to start on my right side. So I'm going to take my left foot and put it over my right thigh. Now, right here is where I might lose some people. If you can't get into this position, I'm sorry. Stick with the self-myofascial release. Stick with stretching out everything, all the muscles around the QL, foam rolling as well, and eventually, hopefully, you can get to this point. So you need to be able to lock the outside of your ankle down on your thigh. That's going to pin that right side down. Now, what I like to do is just pin it down even a little more. I'm going to push down with my right hand, and now my goal is slowly to try to get my forearm to the floor. And you want to take your time, breathing, slow. And really, the key is, even now, I'm, excuse me, naturally kind of flexing. I need to relax and almost think about rounding your low back. Almost, you could round a little bit here, relax, and you'll feel when you get that QL, and it's not just oblique, it's the QL. It's a whole different feeling. Once I get that forearm to the ground, you almost want to think about rounding the low back slightly and almost kicking the hip out. Kind of like push your hip out a little bit. So it's round, relax, kick that hip out, and you will feel it. That is the QL. It feels like a deep, deep stretch. I'm going to take a couple breaths here and just try to relax. And then after I hang out here for about 5 to 10 slow, deep breaths, I can even bring this hand over my head and try to laterally bend even more. And then I like to come out of this stretch without recontracting that QL. I like to, instead of going through the same plane of motion, I kind of drop forward a little bit, slowly come forward, and out, and then I would repeat on the other side. So that has been an amazing 1-2 punch for me. The self-myofascial release on the QL. Like I said, go right off to the side of your spine, almost like you're trying to get underneath your the big, thick spinal erectors that lie on each side of your spine. First, just relax, breathe, some side-to-side motions, some front and back motions. Make sure you do both sides. You could spend a little more time on the side that feels tighter. Then, if you are flexible enough to do this stretch, this seated lateral stretch, hold anywhere from 5 to 15 deep, slow breaths. Start with the hand down, then the hand over your head. I'm telling you, you will notice a huge relief in low back pain and tightness when you hit this QL. In my opinion, the most overlooked muscle in the body when it comes to flexibility and mobility. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Definitely add this into your daily routine. And now let's see what Smitty has to say with his recovery today. He's got some lateral line stuff for you as well.